Sunrise. Coming up this morning, finance analyst urges market participants and the general public not to panic over recent depreciation of the cedi. Expects its depreciation to halt by end of the second quarter.
This is just an annual cyclical event that will reverse by the end of the second quarter, and so there is no cause for alarm, there is no cause for any worry.
Meanwhile, Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry boss urges central bank intervention to stabilize cedi and halt dollar hoarding.
I think we have been also assured by the governor that they have enough buffers, they have enough reserve to be able to intervene. I'm just wondering why they are not intervening.
Plus, Consumer Protection Agency blames Customs' vision of Grafo influx of substandard products following recent Standards Authority crackdown on foreign shops.
It becomes so unfair even to local manufacturers. The local manufacturers have a GRA officer in that place. They have an FDA officer in that place, making sure that they go through all the standard production and then the taxes to pay.
My name is Christabel. Success Trevor will bring you details of our headlines and other stories shortly. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us here on 3FM. Finance and tax analyst Nelson Kujo-Kwabeji has urged market participants and the public to remain calm over the recent depreciation of the cedi, characterizing the currency's downturn as a normal cyclical market phase rather than a systemic economic failure. The cedi has emerged as the weakest performing currency in sub-Saharan Africa across April and May, losing over 10% of its value against the dollar since the beginning of 2026.
Speaking of the market dynamics, Kwabeji explained that the pressure on the local currency is heavily tied to predictable seasonal trends.
As at first quarter of 2025, the cedi depreciated by some 5.3%. But that same year, the cedi ended up being the best performing currency in Africa. And so this is just an annual cyclical event, and we need not to worry or get panicked by the depreciation of the cedi. Now, during the first quarter, what normally happens is that most multinational companies try to repatriate, profit back home. And that actually put pressure on the Ghana cedi.
The analysts maintain that because these pressures are cyclical, the currency is expected to find its footing once the peak demand window subsides.
The IMF criticized the Bank of Ghana for intervening too much in the market. And so what we have seen this time around is that the Bank of Ghana is actually cautious and prudent regarding their intervention approach, within the FX market. And so we believe that this is just an annual cyclical event that will reverse by the end of the second quarter. And so there is no cause for alarm, there is no cause for any worry. The cedi will gather strength and remain stable. We are actually projecting the cedi to, reverse this depreciation trend by the end of the second quarter. By that time, most companies might have finished, repatriating profit back home, and there wouldn't be any much pressure on the Ghana cedi.
Meanwhile, speaking on business focus, CEO of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mark Bedu-Abuaje, is urging the central bank to intervene to ensure the stability of the local currency to prevent hoarding.
There's no cause for alarm, actually, because from all the things he said, I align with him. These are periods where you see some level of depreciation. But we have had, since last year, a very good performance of the local currency because of the intermediation from the central bank. And I think we have been also assured by the governor that they have enough buffers, they have enough reserve to be able to intervene. I'm just wondering why they are not intervening, or the magnitude is so huge that probably they are observing what will happen. But we don't have to wait for much longer time. If you wait for a longer time, that is where the speculations will set in. And it will be difficult to reverse speculations when they set into an exchange rate market, because people are now thinking that now that the cedi has started depreciation, And looking at our past experiences, the possibility that we'll go back to our usual self is also there. So if you're not careful, you see people running to get a dollar to hoard, and that is where you see the depreciation at a faster rate.
You just heard the CEO of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mark Bedu Aboagye. The Consumer Protection Agency has blamed the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority for the influx of substandard products on the Ghanaian market. According to the agency, many of these products are imported through the country's ports, pointing to weak enforcement and limited vigilance at entry points. This follows a recent crackdown by the Ghana Standards Authority on some foreign companies in Accra found to be dealing in low-quality products. Speaking on Business Focus, Executive Director for Mediation and Arbitration at the Consumer Protection Agency, Nana Prempeh Duhene, said the situation is leading to significant revenue losses for government.
Why are we not stopping them from the ports?
Exactly the question.
Why are we not stopping them from the borders? So GRA, the Custom Division, seriously, for us, Consumer Protection Agency, we believe that they are the cause of all this problem that we are facing at the moment. And as I said, it becomes so unfair even to local manufacturers. Imagine a local manufacturer producing a product. The local manufacturer have a GRA officer in that place. They have an FDA officer in that place, making sure that they go through all the standard production and then the taxes to pay. Once this product do not even have an importer, because it's not registered with FDA, it doesn't have an importer. So who are even going to trade to say that pay your taxes? They also don't pay anything at the port because nobody is importing them, and they are coming through illegally.
Executive Director for Mediation and Arbitration at the CPA, Consumer Protection Agency, Nana Prempeh Duhene, speaking there. Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mark Bedu Aboagye, has called for better resourcing of regulatory agencies to enable them to clear the market of substandard goods.
I think government should provide the resources that they need, whatever it is. This is a critical concern to every Ghanaian. This is a critical health issue. We are sitting on a time bomb, existential threat to all of us. And if there is a need for government to pump in money, give the FDA and the Standard Authority whatever resources they need to clamp down on these people, I think they have to do it. Otherwise, the cost, if you don't act on it, will be more than how much they would have spent in resolving the issue. So much as we support businesses, as a Chamber of Commerce, we support people who are doing credible business. We will never support anybody doing any illegality, and we will support any effort to make sure that we wipe out all these people from our economy.
Mark Bedu Aboagye is the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We'll now take a look at how the cedi is faring against major trading currencies and how some of key commodities are also faring on the global market.
On the interbank foreign exchange market, the dollar is selling at 11 cedis 63 pesos. It recorded change. The British pound is selling at 15 cedis 63 pesos. It recorded no change. The euro is selling at 13 cedis 49 pesos. It also recorded no change. However, be guided that these figures could be higher at a forex bureau near you. On the global commodities market, Brent crude is trading at $96.14 per barrel. Gold is trading at $4,570.50 per ounce, up by $61.10. Cocoa is trading at $3,796 per ton, up by $29.
Well, that'll be all for the business news on Sunrise. For more business stories, please check out our website, 3news.com. I am Christabel Success Trevor. The rest of the Sunrise team is up next. Don't go away.